Jackie, civic events like this was really an important part of your job.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to be here and obviously to experience what the community are getting behind and show my support for it. I mean, the day-to-day job obviously isn't this, but it's obviously part and parcel of actually getting to meet the residents and getting to hear their concerns. And I've actually got a long to-do list to go back to the office with, having met obviously the representatives of the forum and so on. So yeah, it is. It's actually the nicer side of the job though, because occasions like this are happy and it's something to celebrate the fact the community have got behind this and made it happen. Whereas quite often a lot of things I have to deal with are less happy.
And I guess one of the things about Thurrock, and from the time you were selected over 3 years ago, it is a mosaic of different communities, isn't it?
It very much is. I mean, you can't actually say that Thurrock is one homogenous community. When I compare constituencies with some of my colleagues, and they represent a distinct part of a city or a town or whatever, but Thurrock isn't. Thurrock is a collection of communities, all with their very unique identity, and you would have a very different experience speaking to the community in Aveley, for example, as you would here. And it's important for us to go out and speak to them so that we do represent all those communities, because obviously I have to be the voice for all of them.
And speaking of representation, next week you'll be up at a conference. Looking forward to it?
Yes, conference is always fun. I've been every year since 1993, so this will be a unique one in the fact that we've just actually going to conference having not quite won an election, but we are now forming a government, whereas previous years have been less happy, let's say.
I spoke to Stephen Metcalfe on Monday and he wasn't exactly quaking in his boots for the fact that Ed Miliband had been elected Labour leader.
I'd agree with that. I mean, ultimately it doesn't really matter who the opposition is, because we're confident enough about our own programme and we've just got to go out and sell it. And frankly, whether they're led by Ed Miliband, Ed Balls or David Miliband, that is immaterial. But what I would say is that the Labour Party have really retreated into their comfort zone by voting for Ed. All the rhetoric he said during the campaign was very much, traditional Labour in its orientation. But that said, he's an intelligent guy and I wouldn't underestimate him as an opponent, and we've just got to make sure we go out there making the arguments.
And you're new as an MP in May, and Graham Thurrock, the Chief Executive, is new from August the 2nd. You've met Graham a couple of times. What's your thoughts? I
have. Well, I've met Graham. I wish him well, because there's a lot of problems to sort in Thurrock, and if he manages to help get Thurrock Council back on a right track, then it's money well spent on appointing him. But I will be a critical friend. I will give my support to Thurrock Council when I think it needs it. But if I think it's falling down the job, I will also tell them.